Hi guys, this is Henry back, and I'm today I'm here to do a forecast for another forecast for the month of September. Except I'll be doing an economic forecast. I've been trying to think of other things I can do, simply because the other four members of the group have been doing the love readings, and I was sort of the odd one out, and I came up with this idea of doing an economic forecast. I don't know how many of you would actually be interested in this kind of topic. I chose it simply because I'm fairly qualified to do something like this. I have a degree in business management, and I manage a business myself. Uh, so I think I'll be a good person to do something like this. Um, but if this type of reading isn't really well received, I'm very grateful for the very nice comments I've been receiving through the Sphinx Tarot channel. I know some of you want to hear more of me. I'll put my own channel in a link in the description below. But if you have any suggestions that you might want me to do, feel free to drop a comment, and yeah, I'll consider your requests. So, to get this reading started, I've already shuffled the cards and dealt them. I apologize for the Capricorn video. I forgot to pick some cards out to show you. I will. Thanks for reminding me to do that. To specify this reading, I focused it more for the UK, simply because I'm in the UK myself, just to make it a bit more relevant. But it's easy to sort of see that I think it's easily relatable to other Western countries, such as the US, especially because the UK and the US, our economies are so linked. One could even say how, there's this theory where whatever the US feels, the UK will feel, it will happen in the UK a year later. We have that kind of time lag. So, anyway, without further ado, the overall situation seems to be a very mixed bag. There's a lot of activity, with the Ten of Wands here. Almost to a extent, we're trying very hard to push through a recession, and it does seem to be working. Having experienced it myself, I feel the economy is coming back on an upswing in its own way. Even though it's slow, it's still trying to gain its momentum back up. But there is a lot of things are picking up, and people are gaining more confidence, and they're feeling this emotionally, that things are picking up. So that's good in itself. And yeah, people are. We're all feeling that we are getting some growth, but there is still this sort of uncertainty, whereby there's some growth, but maybe not as much as we would like, or maybe we're still uncertain whether we will experience a real boom, or this little improvement will teeter out. Who knows? So we're still sort of uncertain about it, but there are clear signs that things are growing, especially here in London. I would say. I'm not sure about the rest of the UK. Just from looking at things, it's picking up slowly, but still quite kind of slow. So some of the challenges, it's the main challenge we face is still. It's actually kind of an emotional one, because we've had a recession for so long. Just regaining that confidence that things will pick back up. We need to work our way out of that, essentially. People need to start spending money again in order to obviously start the whole cycle going. You know, people have to spend money in order to other people to get incomes, and you know the whole. Again, it's slowly picking up, but the challenge is it's the confidence thing in the market. It's you know, that's the main issue to be tackled. I mean, there are sure signs that things are growing. We just need to. I mean, I've said before, there's still some uncertainty, and that's the thing we need to tackle. I mean, it seems that at the end of this month, our emotions will be mixed. Some people will be experiencing, well, not necessarily experiencing, they're still feeling in the slump, even though the big picture might be growing. I think the economy is picking back up, but not necessarily for everyone. I mean, I have here the 8 and the 9 of Cups. So it seems like some people will be feeling the upswing, but it hasn't quite trickled to everyone yet. So just to be aware of that. But again, I want to emphasize the 8 of Pentacles, or the 8 of Discs. You know, there are signs that there will be growth, and we are feeling it. Again, just to overcome that sort of uncertainty thus far. I mean, to get into more of the details, yeah, it seems that people are more inspired by work now. We are feeling like there's a new divine injection, shall we say, into our economy. I think people are more inspired by their dreams, and thus kickstarting maybe new enterprises, and that's what's been making us starting to improve, which is surprising, because I thought it would be quite hard to do that in this environment, just because rents are so high, and finances can be relatively hard to get, although interest rates are really low. If you have a good, if you have no debt, I think you can get your finances fairly easily. Yeah, so now seems to be a time where you can, if you have a new idea, now could be a good time to start, especially when interest rates right now would be as low as it gets. So if you want financing, do it now. Do it now. They will go up. So if you wait to start an enterprise, you might find it'll be harder, because borrowing money will be less affordable. Just as I say that, I want to just emphasize I'm half reading the cards, but I'm also half just drawing from my economic knowledge. Just so people don't get confused, and why I'm not always picking up the cards in this case. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, again, I mean, there is still some uncertainty, and that's why people are being a lot more conservative still with their cash, and with their they're not taking big risks in order to develop, and so people are right now still conserving their resources and kind of waiting it out. I don't necessarily. I mean, I said before, might be a good time for enterprise. I wouldn't say it's good to rush. It's good to start things going, but don't feel like, okay, now I have to expand in all in one go in a great way. So don't go too crazy, but think of starting now. You know, because if you start too actively now and people are still really fairly tight-fisted, then you know, you're not like necessarily going to make much money. You know, so yeah, I mean there are great challenges again. Just to emphasize, I mean we have the Five of Wands here. You know, challenges of how should I say this? Challenges of getting things going or building momentum. Because right now, you know, we're coming out of a recession where things were just still, and then now we're starting to move, but there is still, it takes a bit more time. So right now we are in that, you know, stage where, yeah, things are moving, but still it will need time to pick up momentum. But I mean, I think that's why it'd be a good idea to start now if you're thinking of starting a business, because you'll be opening shop when it's cheap to do so, and you'll be established when we are in full swing. Because once you have established yourself beforehand, that's when you can take advantage of the boom. If you're trying to establish yourself during the boom, it will be a bit harder, because a lot of people will be starting at the same time. So you're having a lot of competition. So now is a good time to start. Okay. On that note, so I have here the Ace of Cups. Again, aces are new beginnings, and it's funny how the cards are kind of reaffirming what I say rather than vice versa. Like literally just after I say it, it's like, oh, okay. By the way, I didn't read this too much beforehand, before the video. So, but anyway, yes. So we have the Ace of Cups. I get it signifies new beginnings. So it's just, again, emphasizing now is a good time to start. In a very, I do it very passionately as well. Realizing your dreams, but at the same time, as with all business, be practical. You know, really know how to budget yourself when you start, and all that sort of stuff. I mean, from the new businesses I have seen, it usually takes months, like 3 months to half a year, to really get things going where they're starting to make a profit. So that's why you really need to have enough cash as a backup, you know, for just in case, you know, things that haven't picked up yet. That's saying, as with all business or enterprise, really, it's a risk, you know. I mean, this is kind of standard, arguably common sense, good practice, but it's a nice reminder, and I'm trying to fit it into the context I've been given as a forecast here in the cards. Yeah, so I mean, despite the uncertainty, you just have to see that I know things are picking up, we are growing, and knowing that you can then plan forwards. Use that uncertainty to advantage in the sense that you so that you plan a bit more prudently and cautiously, but do make plans. So it's nice to keep that balance, and by doing so, you'll be able to make a smart plan, basically. So yeah, things are growing. Do be cautious, but not so cautious that you're just sitting there on your ass and not doing anything. This is a good opportunity right now in September. Okay, now this is interesting. I mean, we've got the priestess card here. Again, the emphasis on inspiration. This will be, I mean, factoring in the Ace of Cups that we got before. Really, this is a time to make dreams come true. Like whatever you feel inspired to do, now is the time to start, and really make changes to the world. You know. Yeah, and the way, I mean, obviously, as I said before, there has been uncertainty. The way really to move away from that is to get things going. So whatever thing you had on the back burner for a while, really set it forth into motion. I mean, here we've got the Eight of Wands, the Eight of Wands here, which implies that we should move things forward really quickly. But I'm a bit, I mean, remember what you said before, a bit more caution. So maybe think about doing things. Yeah, I think I'll interpret that as not necessarily rushing, but just starting now. Not necessarily get everything ready as soon as possible, but just make that start. Things will be slow. I remember we had the Five of Wands before. Things will be slow at first, but you have to you do have to try and push that boulder, uphill, even because that's just the way the terrain is at the moment. So start the pushing. Hang on. Okay. I get the feeling here that it will be a good idea for people, especially to network. I know this is kind of brain dead, basic business basically, but I mean, here I've got quite a few court cards. I've got the Queen of Cups as well as the Prince of Discs here, and I do get a feeling of being social, meeting new people, because you never know, the people you know might help you realize your dreams, essentially. Yeah, and that's it, guys. So I hope that reading was enjoyable and useful. I know this topic isn't necessarily that popular with tarot readers. I mean most of the questions we get relates to love. I'd say like 70% relates to love, but I hope some of you are into business and find this helpful. If not, yeah, drop a comment down below, maybe, and leave some suggestions on what you would like me to do. So yeah, thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.